invited to speak at a project management conference in Melbourne, Australia. His topic is creativity for project managers, and the presentation today is an excerpt from that presentation. The title is Thinking About Thinking. It's project number 1 in the Technical Briefing Advanced Manual, and it is 6 to 8 minutes. Please welcome Eddie Merla.
John Eads, the author, once said, "There are days I practice positive thinking, and on other days, I'm not positive I am thinking." Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our honored guest, Jerry Hobby, thank you for coming. Who dat? Jerry Hobby. Thinking about thinking. As I was doing my research for creativity on project managers, I stumbled onto a particular method that I thought was extremely helpful. So my call to action to you is pay attention. I think this is a technique that can literally change the way you attend meetings and the way you conduct meetings from this point forward. Just a quick anecdote on my presentation to Australia. I sold that presentation without doing a bit of research on creativity for project managers. I didn't realize how much research, how much information there is out in the world about creativity. So I sold that presentation strictly on the title. It's called Unleashing the Project Genie, Creativity for Project Managers, and it's sold in just the title. And so that's what took me to Australia. But I'd like to share with you a very specific method. It's called the 6 Thinking Hats Method. It was invented by Edward de Bono. And basically, this is a way to not only think about thinking, it's an opportunity to use this for your speeches, for your evaluations, and more specifically for meetings. That's what I'm going to introduce today, is how to use this for meetings. How many of you have had the opportunity, let's say within the last 30 days, to conduct a meeting or facilitate a meeting? About 50%. How many have attended a meeting in the last 30 days? Okay, almost 100%. This will help change the way you think about it. Now, the first slide is very busy. I don't like busy slides, but the reason I present this, it provides a structure on how to potentially run a meeting using the 6 Thinking Hats method. And basically, what I think is the genius of this presentation of the method is that it uses hats as a metaphor for thinking. So you put on a different hat. So if you facilitate a meeting using this method, you're asking your participants in the meeting to put on a different hat. I'm going to explain the hats as we go through this. The way you start out a meeting using this method is you do something similar to what I'm doing right now. You might even use this presentation, or you might use a handout similar to this, which is this picture right here. So if you have the opportunity to actually be the facilitator for a meeting, then you can introduce this method, and it just helps structure the meeting to be able to provide and structure the thinking of everyone there at the meeting. So let's go through the 6 hats. The very first one is the blue hat. That's the organizing hat. Why is that important? Because you're going to give a structure to the meeting. You're going to tell everyone, here's what we're going to do. Sounds like Toastmaster, right? Tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them at the end. The blue hat's for opening. The blue hat is for closing. So it gives a structure, gives a direction to the meeting. You're going to tell everyone, we're going to use the hats to structure our thoughts, to structure our processes as we go through this particular problem, this particular project, whatever the topic of the meeting might be. So the blue hat is for thinking about thinking. Then you move on to the information hat. Think about paper. Think about facts, data. All this is important. This is very important. You collect your data and you bring in the facts. What are the facts? What are the specific facts? So you start thinking about those facts. You can use those to help structure, and you keep everything objective. Anyone remember Dragnet? Just the Facts Man?
Yes.
So if you start seeing emotion, if you're the MC, if you're the moderator or facilitator, you can just go back to that point of think about just the facts. Let me go back to the organizing hat for just a second. If you were to ask one question, because you can do this without even introducing this formally, you can just take a question to initiate that portion of the meeting. So what's one question you would use to initiate the organizing hat? It's open for audience participation here, but just think about one question. What's your topic? What are we going to do today? So all you need is that one question so you can actually introduce the method without even telling them you're using the method. So if you're going to go with the information hat, what's the one question you'd ask for the information hat?
What are the facts?
What are the facts? Exactly. So what are the facts? And you focus on just the facts, on the paper, on the information, on the data. Then, this hat is about emotions. What are you feeling? Think saints. Think emotion. Think anything that's emotion. So the genius, I think, behind this hat is normally in a business environment, it's kind of hard to ask executives, well, what are you feeling about this? Tell me what you really feel about this. Some will tell you right off, right? But a lot of times by using this method, you can actually make it a formal. Let's put on our red hats and let's just go ahead and share what we think about this particular method, about this particular approach. So this is, actually there's an opportunity here for jobs to create a new application called I'm Mad. So this will be a perfect new application. But it's about feelings. So it gives you a way to share your feelings, especially if the topic is extremely sensitive. Now here's what you can do. If you know going into the meeting that it's a very sensitive topic, a lot of emotions around it, go ahead and bring the red hat out first. Get them out on the table, then you can bring the information hat in and bring in some of these other hats. The black hat, project managers love the black hat because it's all about risk. What can go wrong with this idea? What can we do about this idea? What are the potential dangers? And so you get to talk about that specifically. What are the cautions? What are the things we need to be concerned with? Now the yellow hat is different. This one is think sunshine, think optimism, think positive thoughts. So this helps you think about the positive benefits. If we implement this idea, then what are the benefits of it? In the Bill Murray Corporation, where he's just asked everyone to switch their watches to the other hand, what are the benefits of doing that? Maybe we can find some benefits. Maybe Patricia Carr has identified that most people that wear their watches on the other hand live 20 years longer. So you think about what are the benefits? What are the benefits? Then you move on to, and I love this hat. It's the green hat, the creative hat. Think growth, think ideas, think new. And so this gives you a way to really be creative with your presentations, with your thoughts. And I like to leave this towards the end because as you wrap it up, this is an opportunity to just mine all your opportunities. Now, how would you use this for a problem? Well, you could go with preparation, which is what hat? The white hat. Then you would move on to incubation. You use the other three hats for incubation to solve a problem, which are the red hat, the black hat, and the yellow hat. And you go through these to actually help incubate the idea. You don't have solutions yet. You're just trying to incubate the ideas and start thinking about all the potential solutions. Then you finally get to the aha moment, inspiration. That's where you use the green hat. And then finally, you use the blue hat to evaluate all these ideas and come up with solutions. I'm going to leave you with this. This looks very busy, but thinking is a skill and thinking can be improved. The next time you have an opportunity to think about thinking or to lead a meeting, think about the 6 hats method, manifesto.